Welcome to Friday, the 23rd of February, 2024. My name is Jimmy Bradbury. I help entrepreneurially minded people who feel stuck in a 9-to-5 job or in a business they own that feels like a job to be able to share their knowledge and experience with other people, and using that knowledge and experience that they've already got to be able to help other people move forward in their lives and get paid doing it. I've had a ball this week. I hope you have. I know I've got a lot of comments and a lot of feedback, and it's been hugely enjoyable for me, and I think beneficial as well. Taking me back to the beginning, when I started, the one thing that somebody, if they're starting an online business, sharing their knowledge and experience, needs to start with is, what is your thing? And I've been talking about that in 4 steps over this week. I'll recap those in a moment. But knowing your thing and really being able to dial into it is super important, because when you know your thing, what is it that you've got, that unique skill or that interest in a hobby or that profession that you want to help other people with, then you're very clear about who it is you want to attract and who you don't want to attract when you're building your online business. So super important to get that dialed in. So over the last week, I've been sharing the 4 steps that I teach in my online programs and in my coaching program on how it is you find your thing. So step number 4 that I'm going to talk about today is monetizing your potential, monetizing it, turn it into a business. Now, this is huge because when we start monetizing our information, when we start monetizing our knowledge and our know-how, we really are turning it into a business. We're moving away from it being a hobby into a business. Now, if you've been in any of my programs, if you haven't, I want to share this with you. The very first thing you need to do before you think about monetizing your knowledge and experience is this. You need to have the mindset that you're going to treat this as a business. If you're going to monetize it, you need to treat it as a business. Now, that business could be full-time, like I do it, or it could be part-time as a side project to, just generate additional revenue when you're in your 9-to-5 job. Or maybe you've got your own business and you want to generate some additional revenue. Whichever option you take of those two, make sure you have a mindset of a business, not a hobby. Don't half do this, do it as a business. So when you've got the mindset of a business, now listen to this, this is really important. If you've got a mindset of a business, your operating vehicle to monetize your knowledge and experience must be through a legal entity you set up, a business, a company. Don't half do this. Don't do this through your own personal situation. Don't do that, please. If you've been in many of my programs, you know this is step 1. Set up a legal entity to be able to trade your work through it. I won't get into the reasons why, but I think it's pretty obvious. If you're not trading through a legal entity, you're treating this as a hobby. You've got the mindset of somebody who's treating it as a hobby. And you might say to me, well, Jimmy, this is going to take me forever to do. It's going to take you 2 hours online to set up a legal entity. And I know for a lot of people, they feel challenged by that because, well, why do I need to set it up as a legal entity? I just want to charge people money and, teach people and build programs and courses. That's not the mindset of you treating it as a business. Like, think of anybody out there who's got a business today that's serious about it. They've all trading through a legal entity. So make sure, step number 1, you set up a legal entity to be able to trade, whether it's coaching, whether it's an online course, whether it's a membership program, whether you're selling a hard product through e-com, whatever it might be, or consulting services, make sure you're doing it through a legal entity. I could do a whole separate week on this, but I'm not going to. I just want to make sure that that is clear in your mind. You set it up as a legal entity. Number 2, when you want to know how it is you're going to monetize your knowledge and who you can help with that knowledge, go and look at what they're actually doing themselves in terms of buying courses, buying programs, buying consultancy services, buying e-com products. Go and look at what it is your ideal customer is doing, and also look at who it is out there in the marketplace that's similar to what you do. How are they doing it? Are they doing coaching programs? And if they are, what kind of packages have they got? What kind of programs have they got? What kind of transformation are they getting for people? Make sure to always be looking at your competitors and be able to see how they're doing it, and then be able to configure your program to be able to do either something similar with your own twist on it or something completely different. But you must always be looking at what's happening out there in the marketplace, both with your competitors and with also people who are buying from your competitors. So have a look at what courses and programs are out there. If you're doing coaching, what coaching programs are out there. If you're, as I say, doing e-com, have a look at the products that are out there that are being bought at the moment, similar to what it is you do. Those are the two big things. If you're looking to monetize your knowledge or sell e-commerce products, one, make sure, big picture, you trade everything through a legal entity. And number two, when you are going to sell, look at what your competition is doing and look at what people who potentially are ideal customers are actually buying out there in the marketplace. I know for a lot of people that might be common sense, but I don't know how many people that have started with me in my coaching program and they were just about to do all of this and do it through their own personal account and not through a legal entity. So I want to make sure that you get that and you don't trade through your own personal situation. Really, really important. That's the mindset of a business person when they're doing it through a legal entity. Okay, so those are the two big points I wanted to talk about today. Recapping, if you want to find your thing, here's a few things that you should get in place. Number one, what comes naturally to you? What is the thing that you just enjoy doing? Is it a hobby, playing guitar? Is it playing piano? Is it teaching kids how to play volleyball? Is it teaching people how to swim? What comes naturally to you that you love doing that you would like to teach other people? Number one. Number two, what do you love about the work that you do? So you establish what it is you'd love to do. What is it about the work that you love to do? Do you like doing coaching? Do you like doing online courses? Do you like selling e-products? Whatever it might be, what do you like doing? Number three, what topics come easy to you? You know, if you're a yoga teacher or you like yoga and you want to teach yoga, maybe it's a type of pose that you enjoy doing and you want to teach other people to do it because you've got a unique angle on it and it comes easy to you. Number three. Number four, why do people like to learn from you? Go and ask them. Why do you like to learn from this person? Why do you like to learn from me? People like to learn from me because I help them see the opportunity of building an online business. Like I come back to the point I've just already made. They like the idea of, oh my gosh, Jimmy is doing this from the point of view of making sure it's a credible business. He's got the mindset to think like a business owner, set up a business entity to start with. We're not going to do this as this kind of half-baked thing that I see so many people are doing out there. And it just cringes me. Oh my God. No, do this as a proper professional thing. And people like that about me. They have some resistance at the beginning, but they see the benefits of it when they start getting their business running. So what do people like to learn from you? That's really important. If somebody tells you, I like this about you, what is it that they like about you? Ask them. Sixth thing is, what is the problem you solve? That's a very obvious thing. And then number seven, how do you solve that problem? Those 7 things are going to help you enormously being able to find what it is your thing is. So I'm going to bring all of that to life now. So I will share with you my thing. So when people ask me what I do, I don't say I'm a coach. You know, that's so kind of, well, everybody says I'm a coach or I'm an author, whatever it might be. What I like to say is, so I'm trying to bring all of this to life. When people ask me what my thing is, I help entrepreneurially minded people who are stuck in a 9-to-5 job or in a business that feels like a job. I help them be able to build a profitable online business so that they can have more time and financial freedom in their life. That's what I say. I then, if I've got the time, will go on and say, I specialize in a couple of things. I specialize in LinkedIn to help them build an audience. And I'll also tell them that I'm the person who also not just likes to help them with the strategy, the front end, and the marketing campaigns, which is so important, but I actually like to get into the back end and help them, because I kind of geek out on this, with building their pages, building their funnels, writing their copy, putting together all the automations, because I just love that kind of stuff. I'm not a tech person, but I forced myself to learn probably the most critical thing in building a sustainable 7-figure, 8-figure online business is knowing how your online platform works. I use Kajabi. There's many other platforms out there, but if you do not know how your online platform works and you delegate that out to somebody else, you're probably selling yourself a big problem down the line. And that's what I saw. And I said, if I wanted to learn how to build a business that was going to be sustainable, I needed to know how every single piece of my business works. Now I delegate some of it out. I don't delegate a lot, but what I do delegate out, I learned how the whole thing works, whether it's admin, whether it's technical, whether it's the marketing, whether it's the sales, whatever it might be. But the great thing about knowing all of these, for me, in teaching and coaching people, I'm able to help them both in their front end of sales and marketing and getting their message out there and being able to deal with the strategy of building an online business, but also the back end of doing the tech, writing the copy, building the pages, building the automations, building out all the funnels, which are critical in building a 7-8-figure online business. So that's what makes, that's what I do. I'd love you to craft your own thing. What it is you do when somebody asks you, and whether you follow my guidelines, make sure that you think about it in something that, something that really you enjoy and comes naturally to you, and go through the 4 things I've been teaching you over the last week. Know-how and skills, number 1. Number 2, being able to solve a problem and knowing what that problem is. Number 3, really doing something that sets you alight, that makes you, give you joy and meaning and purpose in your life every day. And number 4, make sure that you are going to turn it into a business and that you set up the structure to do that, and you find out what your competition is doing and what your ideal customer is buying. Put all that together, then kind of fill out what it is you do. And I know that it's going to help and serve you a lot, because you don't want to be like everybody else, just saying the same thing and just doing the same thing. Make yourself different. If you do, you'll stand out, not just of the short term when you see these people jumping up for a couple of months or maybe a year and then they disappear. You'll be there for the long term. Building an online business is not a short win. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to be in it for the long term. And in anything you do, and I've built so many businesses offline, now it's exactly the same with an online business. You have to get the foundations in place to build the business. If you don't get the foundations in place, the whole thing will just come down. And it all starts with getting your thing right. So hopefully that's been all helpful for you this week. I've enjoyed this. I really have. And I'd love your feedback. Again, don't forget, down below here, there's a free guide that I put together, how it is you can find your thing. Download it. I know lots of people have done that already this week. If you haven't, make sure to do it. And love to get your comments and your feedback. And hopefully that's all been helpful for you this week. Wherever you are in the world, have a great Friday. And I look forward to talking to you again on Monday. And have a great weekend. And talk to you again on Monday. Bye-bye.